was listening to Kendrick Perkins. He was talking about, Cade Cunningham should put his pride aside and call Giannis to recruit him to come to the Detroit Pistons. And quite frankly, man, he may be right. He may be right about that. He may need to get on the phone and recruit him. And I remember Derrick Rose was saying that, he didn't believe in recruiting people to come to Chicago. He didn't really believe in it. And that's the old school mentality. Like, you coming, you not, you not. And I'm more of a promoter of that. But then again, sometimes, it's at the point where sometimes, damn, why everybody riding their brakes? Like, sometimes it comes to a point where, sometimes you got to step out and do something outside the norm. Sometimes you got to try things and do things that may make you uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear a lot of people, motivational speakers say, a lot of people successful saying this, try to learn to be comfortable, uncomfortable. And that's a real thing. A lot of people stay at a particular place of employment. They scared to take they scared to take a promotion. You know what I'm saying? They scared to take a promotion. Not only is they scared to take a promotion, they scared to switch jobs. So they so used to doing what they doing. They so used to it. They so used to it. And they scared to take that chance. And when they scared to take that chance, they miss that opportunity. They miss that opportunity. And when they miss that opportunity, a lot of times it don't really come back that way. So, for the most part, sometimes you got to do things that's out of the norm. Sometimes you got to try new things. And maybe Cade should get on the phone with him and say, yeah, more likely, the powers that be want to push him to, New York, and maybe he want to be in Miami or LA. That's kind of where the powers that want to push him at. And at the end of the day, Milwaukee and Detroit, same division, same type of weather, Milwaukee, there's been some talks about them kind of being segregated still. You heard the story about John Henson. He went to go buy some jewelry there some years ago, and they called the police on him. So, yeah, Wisconsin, you start talking about places in Wisconsin, they still got a bunch of sundown towns. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel them. I definitely feel them. Like, really, you probably want to elevate and go to a bigger type of town. But at the end of the day, is it about, it's a priority winning, or the priority is being in the big market winning? Is it just trying to be on the big market? I mean, for the most part, I don't really think Giannis care about being the face of the league. I think he really just like the hoop. He won a championship, and he just trying to, create generational wealth for his family. I don't know what type of dog that is. It's pretty though, like a chow mix. I think that's what he on. But you might as well reach out to him. Hey, big fella. Hey, man, we think you'll be A1 from in here, dog. We'd love to have you in Detroit, bro. Like I think we could do some major damage. And maybe he'd be like, I'll think about it, and maybe he say nothing, or But I think it'll be a hellified combination. I think the only issue is you had to really make sure you pick and choose your shooting. You get them on board, and maybe Milwaukee and Detroit chop something out. They gotta charge us. They got to upcharge us because he played within the division. He within the division. So we in the same division. So I get it. I'm pretty sure Tom Gores will be committed to paying and putting it together. And, a lot of people going to want dividends, sooner than later. But I think they play well together. I think the only issue is keeping a lot of shooting around Giannis. I think another issue is outside of keeping around a lot of shooting around Giannis, I think, he liked to handle the ball a lot. Cade liked to handle the ball a lot, but Cade showed the ability to give up the ball, handling the responsibilities. He showed that ability with Dennis Schroeder and trust him to play off the ball. So, like I said, Cade is a very, very, team-friendly player, bro. I've said that, bro. Like, he's a very team-friendly player. So when you got a guy that's as team-friendly as Cade, come on, move it, Enrique Suave. When you got a guy that's as team friendly as Cade Cunningham, I mean, for the most part, for the most part, I mean, you know, you can play on the ball, off the ball, without the ball. You know, you play defense. So yeah, I think, you know, I mean, why not? Why not call them and recruit them? You know, I'm not a big promoter of calling and recruiting guys and all of that, but it's a different day and age. You know, you see, you know, Nick Saban didn't want to be, you know, strong arm by his players with the NIL. So what did he do? You know, he bowed out. So either you adjust, you evolved, or you get left behind. So, you know, sometimes, you know, maybe calling somebody and putting a good word for him to come to Detroit, maybe that might make a lot of sense. That might make a tremendous amount of sense. So I get it, and I definitely understand it. You know, kind of it's not the macho thing to do. It may not necessarily be the Detroit thing to do, but for the most part, you might as well kick the tires. You know, maybe don't stop at Giannis. If y'all like Devin Booker, maybe Devin Booker can press the what's his name, Matasheba, to make a deal. This body on this woman is amazing. I must say myself, Jesus Christ. But we must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused. Like, woof. I I wish I could show y'all, but Jesus Christ. But yeah, but for the most part, you know, maybe you put it, you know, you like Ja. I'm not saying they should, LaMelo or any of Zion or, you know, Devin Booker or you put some, you know, put some, you know, drop some wisdom in their ear. Like, yo, well, let us see come to Detroit and, you know, well, I think we could do this, that, and the third and make some noise. And at the end of the day, Kendrick Perkins made another point. Good point. Yeah, some of the guys in the locker room you cool with, you don't want to feel like you selling them out or you get traded. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and financials is tied to you winning. You know, you getting your signature shoe is tied to your financials. It's tied to you winning. So when we start having those conversations and stuff of that nature, um, you know, I think that make a lot of sense to go ahead and press play on that. But you know, nonetheless, it is what it is, man. But um, if I'm him, I'm probably make a few calls this summer. And I understand it ain't the old school way to do it, but you know, shit, maybe it may work. But hey, check out Detroit Line, Trade Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, wherever I'm producing content on Amazon. Some of them places. Just hit the link tree. You can find me there. Appreciate y'all. One time for the one time. Peace.